a second. Give me a second here. Give me a second here. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that. But we're back in full effect. What's up, people? It's your boy, the host with the most. I do not brag or boast, and I'm coming to you guys live from coast to coast. It's your boy. I'm Chris the Dom. One, feel free to hit the subscription button, the notification bell, share this live stream as well as this YouTube channel with your friends, family, and followers. Let's get this channel lit in the YouTube algorithm because you all know and you all are aware of this. The YouTube algorithm know of me, but it doesn't know me. All right. If you want to support me with super chats or super stickers, feel free. By all means, light it up. Also, if you want to be serious about building this channel brick by brick, hit the join membership button. Remember, membership has its privileges. Okay. Got all that stuff out of the way. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. We're going to be talking about B. Simone. We're also going to be, dabbling into some other topics, but mainly B. Simone. For those who've been living under a rock, I'd like about to explain. B. Simone is this social media influencer. She dabbles in, being a comedian. She also dabbles in being an actress. She also dabbles in being a podcaster. B. Simone is a jack of all trades, but not a master of none, if you dig and following what I'm saying. Well, anywho, B. Simone was on the podcast, and she's talking about the rigors of her life, talking about the struggle is real with B. Simone. She's saying that she's pretty much broke, that she can't maintain the lifestyle that she's accustomed to. And I think she's falling on the sword, expecting people to be sensitive to her situation. Now, this is the same B. Simone, okay? Way back. Pretty much, Martin Luther King. The Martin Luther King thing wasn't a good analogy that she used. She crashed and burned on the Martin Luther King thing. She also... this is the same B. Simone that pretty much had this life book that she pretty much copied and pasted other people's ideals, other people's lifestyle, and made it into her. She got in a lot of hot water with that, a lot of sticky hot water with that. She's also the same B. Simone that said that she is not going to date a man that has a 9-to-5 job. Yes, this is the same B. Simone. So, yeah, this is the same B. Simone wanting sympathy to everyone out there, to the audience of the world. She's begging for you guys to feel sorry for her, to show some sympathy for her. All right. So, I got a lot of things to talk about. She talked about how she can't shop at these big name stores, these big name glamorous stores like Gucci or whatever, Prada or whatever. And she has to go to H&M, which if you are familiar with H&M, H&M is not, H&M is not like these little small stores, these little small discount stores that you see. I can't even name them, but I know what they look like. She's not going into a Target. She's not downsizing to a Target. She's not downsizing to a Walmart. Hell, she's not even downsizing to an Aldi's. Okay, so Ross. She's not downsizing to a Ross. She's not downsizing to a TJ Maxx. She's pretty much going to a store that's still high in price. It's still a classy store. Not a lot of us can go in there day in and day out and get what we need at H&M. Okay, so it's not like the struggle is that real for B. Simone. And this is one of these things where B. Simone always catches her foot in her mouth. I don't think B. Simone really thinks about what she's going to say. I just think whatever comes to her head, she just spits it out. She doesn't, fall back a little bit, think about what she's going to say before she actually said, but she sounded real ridiculous on this podcast. And by the way, this is the same B Simone that kicked off her best friend. They used to have a podcast together. Um, and it was a very good podcast with her and B Simone, because she was B Simone was the A mic, and her name was Morgan Ashley. She was the B mic, but she was a very good B mic, and she would manage the conversation, not allow B Simone to get too over exaggerating, doesn't detour from the subject matter, doesn't make the podcast all about B Simone. So she was pretty much B Simone anchor, and B Simone felt like this was not the podcast wasn't going the way she wanted to go. I think it was Knowing Is podcast, and that's her best podcast when she had Morgan. So she broke away from her. Then she didn't want to be, first of all, she didn't want to be friends with this lady. This lady was friends with B Simone, and she sacrificed a lot of things to even be around B Simone. She even sacrificed her own marriage, even though she has, more. She pretty much said that it wasn't a good marriage, but she put a lot of her time and a lot of her energy into this podcast and into B Simone as a friend, as an ally. And then one morning, B Simone woke up and said, your services are no longer needed, and kicked her to the side. And B Simone wanted to do her own podcast. And when she did her own podcast, it was worse. She didn't have a B mic. She didn't have someone that will check her. She didn't have someone that could, that will not allow her to derail into other things. This new podcast B Simone in is unraveling. The struggle is real. After when she did this layout introducing the new podcast and trying to throw shade at Morgan and things of that nature, now she's finding out that there's a lot of work to these podcasts. And if you've been following me, I've been telling you guys, when you look at the podcast landscape, it's oversaturated. In order to entertain your audience, you're going to have to do things. You just can't do the same old, same old. You can't interview the same old guests, because a lot of these podcasts are here today, gone tomorrow. And particularly with female podcasters, they have to find a lane and their audience, because the majority, and I don't have statistics, but I think the majority of listeners of podcasters are males. I think males listen to podcasting a lot more than females. So if B Simone wanted to be very successful at doing podcasting, she would have to separate herself from all this, from what the other podcasters are doing. She can't just interview a guest that's been interviewed by 12 other podcasts, So she had to do things a little bit different. She struggled. And now she's on this episode talking about how, life ain't fair, the struggle is real. Financially, she's not making the money that she's accustomed of making. Now remember, when COVID hit, a lot of influencers, a lot of streamers, got their money in a major way, including podcasting, because a lot of people couldn't go out. A lot of people couldn't go out to eat. A lot of people couldn't go out to dance. A lot of people couldn't go out to hang out. So they spent a lot of their times at home. And while you were at home, Netflix was booming. HBO Max was booming. All the streaming networks were booming. OnlyFans was booming. Podcasting was booming. Live streaming was booming. A lot of these influencers did live streams on top of live streams. Streaming was booming because the majority of their audience is stuck at home. Now, since the restrictions are lifted, we're past COVID. A lot of people are not spending a lot of time at home. A lot of people are just going out. They're going out to events. They're going out to clubs. They're going out to eat. They're going out to watch a movie. They just now going back out to watch movies. Remember, it was an article when we was in COVID that the movie industry was struggling because no one wasn't going to the movie theaters to watch these movies. A lot of people prefer to watch it on streaming. And now the tides have changed. A lot of these streaming services, they're struggling, but the movie industry is getting better. A lot of people are going to movies. A lot of people are checking out a lot of movies, going out to watch these big blockbuster movies. Okay, movies are reigning supreme. But podcasting on some level, even though it's oversaturated, people, hey, what's up? How you doing, Elijah? How you doing? I just saw your message. So yeah, when the COVID restrictions were lifted, that a large portion of that audience went back out again, and a lot of these people were. Oh, I'm doing great, Elijah. I'm doing great. So a lot of B Simone is in the same situation like a lot of us as content creators. We have to figure out other ways and other avenues to maintain what type of audience we could get. B Simone is no different than the rest of us. Okay, it's not like B Simone is this A tier actress or this A tier comedian, you know. And even Cardi B even alluded to how content creating, well, influencers and social media is struggling, and she even talked about it last year. They're not making the same money like they were accustomed to 3 or 4 years ago. Okay, have you heard about? We'll get into that a little bit later, Elijah. A little bit later, okay? Because I got a lot of things to say about that. Okay, but yeah. So B Simone has to realize she's at the bottom, and she's gonna have to build up. She's gonna have to redo her resume all over again. She has to find another audience because of a lot of things. A lot of things I have listed. But I think the biggest reason why B Simone have to refigure this thing out again is a lot of things she have said and a lot of things that she have done that alienated a lot of the majority of her audience. Her fan base is split. I mean, and this ain't, she has done a lot of stuff wrong and said a lot of stuff wrong. And I'm surprised she even still have an audience. Okay, but that's what happens when you're a content creator. 1 month, the sky's the limit. The next month, the limit's the sky. But you have to maneuver around these troubled waters. You have to get into where you can fit in. Okay, if you're not making money doing podcasting, then do live streams. If you're not making money doing live streams, go on the road. She's a comedian. Go on the road, pair up with somebody. If you're not making money doing that, be a guest on someone else's podcast. You have to expand your portfolio as a content creator. So it is what it is. So I think a lot of B Simone's problems is created on her own, but there's a lot of things that's not only affecting B Simone, it's affecting all of us. So we have to figure out how to get into where we can fit in. And I don't have a dog in the race when it comes to B Simone. I don't dislike B Simone. I don't hate B Simone, but my whole thing of it is, you just got to get into where you fit in, and you have to figure out other avenues. The difference between B Simone and somebody like myself, there's not a lot of avenues for myself to qualify myself in to supplement this audience for another entirely different audience. But with B Simone, she's a larger name. She's a larger brand. A lot of the things why people alienating B Simone is the things that she have said. If she apologized for the things that she have said, like the Martin Luther King thing, you know, mend her relationship with Morgan that she kicked out of her original podcast that was doing good. The 9 to 5 thing reference talking about you're not going to date a man that's 9 to 5. I think you can do it. I think you can create content even around the 9 to 5 thing, saying you have a difference of opinion about it. Okay, so sometimes you got to be in the good graces of your audience, and your audience will come back. And if your audience don't come back, there's other people that would be interested in you, but you have to be likable. B Simone is not likable right now, so you know it is what it is with B Simone. It's no different than the rest of us. Okay, so I'm done talking about B Simone. If y'all got anything to say about B Simone, hit the comment section. Tell me what you think about B Simone. Is she right? Is she wrong? I don't know. All right. So the next thing before we get into what Elijah wants to talk about, real fast, real quick, um, Cardi B is going to blow up this summer. She really is. I listened to her single Outside. First, when I first heard it, I wasn't really into it because I thought it was just another Cardi song. But when I listened to it to the second and third time, it started to get my attention. And I think this is going to be another banger. And there's talk that Cardi B is going to have a new album coming soon. That's great for Atlantic. That's great for Cardi B. Cardi B hasn't made music in like almost 7 years. So the whole landscape of music have changed. Okay, Gorilla is now killing the charts. So I'm pretty sure Cardi B, as smart as she is, she's going to collaborate. I think her and Gorilla's on good standings. So I'm pretty sure she's going to collaborate with Gorilla on a track. She already got her relationship with Meg Thee Stallion. And it would not surprise me none. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it would not surprise me none if her and Nicki Minaj bury the hatchet and maybe do a collaboration on a song, or at least be nice to one another on social media. Okay, so yeah, Cardi B is going to take over the summer. I heard Offset's new song Bodies, Let the Bodies Hit the Floor. It's a catchy hook. It's a sample from a rock song that was that had that same catchy hook in the 90s, or no, I think it was in the 2000s. Yeah, I like Offset song. Now Offset there's rumors around that Offset is going to release an album too. I really do feel like, you know, uh, Offset and Card. I think Cardi's going to have the better album than Offset, because I was never a big fan of Offset as a solo artist. I dig a few songs here and there with Offset when he's collaborating with other people, but I feel like Offset is a better with the group, the Amigos, even though they're minus one member. RIP to him. But I think uh, he's a lot better in a group setting than solo dolo. That's just my opinion about it. But guys, comment in the comment section. Tell me what you think. Do you like the Cardi B album? I mean, single. Do you not like it? What do you think about Offset? My opinions about Offset. Please comment down below. Now, Elijah wants to talk about. Have you heard about the Iran stuff? Yes, I have. Now, before I get into the situation in Iran, I first like to say this. Two things I stay away from, I skirt away from is religion and politics. Because no matter what you say, there's going to be a group of people that's going to dislike what you say. And they're going to take what you say the wrong way. Okay? So I feel like with this Iran thing, first and foremost, I think we need a person that's going to have patience to deal with this. I don't think Trump. I think Trump as a president should appoint somebody, particularly with the tension that's going on overseas, because this could spill over to us. Now, a couple of days ago, we bombed a place they believed that was hold that they were getting ready to make a nuclear weapon. There's been reports out there that there's been innocent people that that's got hit by those bombings. My thing of it is we need someone with a lot of patience and tolerance. Um, I don't think you're going to end the war over there. I think the two sides are going to be always fighting one another, and it's just so much bad blood there, so much bad tension there. It's going to be real hard to find a middle point or a middle ground that's going on over there. But yeah, that's all I can pretty much say about it. And I'm trying to stay neutral. I don't want, because it's like this, dude. I've been doing this too long. And every time you talk about politics, there's always a left winger that's going to say something in the comment section. Oh, well, I don't think that was right for you to say that, because of this, that, and the third. And there's always going to be a left winger in the comment section going like, well, I think that's ridiculous. I think that's stupid. Yada, yada, yada. Here's why. It's just religion and politics. They don't mix well, particularly when you're a content creator. I try to, skate away from those subjects, and I don't really dabble too much in those subjects, because of the situation. I don't like talking about religion and politics. Okay, that's just me. All right. So, in other news, I was going to talk about this, the Diddy situation. And this is a situation. They said that this trial could come to a conclusion. Come to a conclusion this coming Thursday. I don't think there's going to be. I don't think there's going to be a conclusion on Thursday. Now I know the judge want them to come to some kind of type of conclusion before July the 4th, because uh, if the trial still goes on July the 3rd, there's not going to be nothing going on July the 4th, and then they will have to wait after the holidays to resume on what they're going to do. Or they're going into deliberations, or do the team representing Diddy have something else to talk about? Okay, that would prolong it even further. Okay, everybody loves Diddy. Everybody loves Diddy. I guess Elijah. Everybody loves Diddy. But and if you caught up with my live stream a month ago, and you know, I said some things in that live stream that, like, I personally don't. I think Diddy is a bad person. I think Diddy misused people the wrong way. I think Diddy abused people. I think Diddy, you know, had a domestic relationship with Cassie, and I think he did some. I think he did some terrible things with Cassie, and terrible things with 50 Cent baby's mama. Um, he's guilty on those things. And I said in a live stream last week, he's guilty of the things I just mentioned. But when you're talking about a RICO, when you're talking about sex trafficking, oh, and he's also guilty of illegal weapons and drug possession. Okay. For any other person in America, the things that he's guilty for, he should be in jail. Okay. But as far as racketeering, as far as the RICO, there's nothing the prosecution shown or said that makes someone believe that he should spend the rest of his life in jail because of those charges. Now, if you want to let him spend the rest of the life, if you want him to spend the rest of his life in jail for domestic violence, I'm for it. If you want him to spend the rest of his life in prison because of having illegal guns, I'm for that too. If you want him to spend the rest of his life with drugs, having illegal drugs and narcotics and illegal prescriptions, I'm with that too. If you want to, send him to jail because he's a bad person, I'm with that too. If you want him to spend the rest of his life in jail because how he treated his employees, I'm with that too. I'm with all of those things I just listed. But if we're sending him to spend the rest of his life in jail for a RICO, sex trafficking, you know, the math ain't mathing. The stuff that they that was said in the trial and the videos and the pictures and the witnesses and things like that, none of that stuff adds up for him as far as a RICO. I think it's going to be very hard to convince 12 jurors that he violated and he should be charged with a RICO. The sex trafficking thing, well, the ex trafficking thing, I think there's some underlying connections, but they're not strong connections because an average attorney could easily get you out of those situations. But Diddy, look, I'm not saying Diddy's innocent. He's definitely not innocent. I don't think Diddy is a good person. I don't think Diddy's a good person. I think Diddy is a bad person that have made some bad decisions or worse decisions. But did he violate it into a RICO? I haven't seen anything that indicates that we should charge him for a RICO. The ex trafficking, if you're talking about the male performers performing on Cassie and 50 Cent Baby Mama, if y'all want to charge him for that, yeah, but a lot of those guys willingly accepted it. So if you're going to charge Diddy with a crime like that, why you're not charging the male performers? Even though I'm pretty sure they got it in writing that they're not going to be charged for none of this because they're going to be witnesses for the prosecution. Okay, just like Cassidy. Cassidy is minus the domestic violence. I don't think Cassidy asked to be beat on or anything like that. But minus that, there have been moments in the trial that indicated that Cassie was willingly doing this. Now, they're making it into, she was coerced in it and she got tricked into it. She was too scared to say anything. All that stuff could be true, but she's in the same pickle with like Diddy. But the only difference is she's testifying against Diddy. A lot of these people did just as wrong as Diddy. The only difference is none of those people are going to be tried and thrown in jail for the rest of their life because they're the witnesses. They're going to be the weapons that's going to get Diddy into that position. So, like I said, a month. This is what I believed, and here we are today. They're talking about the trial may end this Thursday. If the trial ends this Thursday, nothing that has been said from now to a month that tells me or tells anybody, yeah, Diddy should be convicted for RICO. Now, if you want to do the ex trafficking thing, if you want to make connections there, I wouldn't be mad if he gets accused of that. But you know, hey man, it's not cut and dry as what the prosecution has drummed up. Okay. All right. So yeah, that's all I got for today. I really do appreciate everyone coming into the building. Hit the like button on your way out. Those who want to rewatch the rerun of this, comment in the comment section. Tell me if I'm right or if I'm wrong about certain things. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, subscribe and enjoy. You will not be disappointed. Let's get this channel lit in the YouTube algorithm. If you want to support the channel with super chat, super stickers, that'd be very appreciative. If you want to hit the join membership button, there are over 1,000 videos that only members can see. You know, not everyone else can see these videos. So, and if I get enough members, I will start doing live streams for the members. I will start doing content for the members. So, but yo, I'm up out of here. It's your boy, the host with the most. I do not brag or boast, and I'm coming to you guys live from coast to coast. It's your boy. I'm up out of here. Deuces. See you on the flip side. See you on the flip side.